Hello, 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 hello. Now we are going to see the topic, who am I? If you go through the Enlightenment text, you will see many things, how all the lives are created, how the universe is created, how 5 elements were created, and everything was described. But they don't insist that you have to know them for yourself. I have to tell you, you have to understand, you have to know this is this, this is that. They do not give us any responsibility to know them for ourselves. But they give one responsibility. You have to understand yourself as Atma. Because you are Atma, you are the soul, the self. You have to realize that you are the Atma. And the Vedanta scriptures describe, you are not the body, you are not the mind, you are pure Atma. You have to understand yourself as the Atma, the Atma. And if you look into the teachings of Ramana Maharishi, he will also used to give the same thing. You have to understand, you have to inquire who you are, who am I, and find out you are the Atma. You have to get Atma Sakshatkar. So we have to have some idea about what is Atma, what is the real self, what is soul. We have to have a glimpse, we have to have an idea about what is Atma, what does the meaning of Atma. Everything is dark, nothing is visible. We bring a candle. In the candle light, we can see all the objects of the room. All things are visible with the help of the candlelight. If there is no candlelight, we cannot see anything in the room. Everything is utter darkness. To see the things, the candlelight is very useful, the candlelight is necessary. So if you want to see the candlelight, do you need one other candlelight to see this candlelight? No, we need not have any another candlelight because the candlelight is self-evident in nature. It expresses itself. It shows itself. It reveals itself. But other things are having no capacity to reveal itself. The candlelight alone has the capacity to reveal itself. So those which is having the self-evident nature is known as the chit or the some life energy or some in the name of consciousness. So the consciousness alone, the life energy alone, has the self-evident nature. For example, we are walking in a dark night and we dash upon a stone or a wall and we got some injury upon the forehead. We feel the pain of the wound. We feel the pain of the injury. How do you feel? How do you know the pain? Do you feel it with the help of your candlelight? No, no candlelight is there. It is utter darkness. But anyhow, we feel the pain. So the pain is self-evident in nature. It expresses itself. So in this way, we have a problem. And we have some tension because of the problem. We have the tension in our mind. We feel some pain in our mind. How do you know? How do you know the pain of your mind? Do you know it with the help of a candlelight? No. The pain is a self-evident. The pain is also self-evident in nature. So the physical aspect, the physical pain is also self-evident. The psychological pain is also self-evident. The first one is known as physical consciousness or bodily consciousness. The second one is psychological consciousness. So the both are self-evident in nature. We physically know the feeling. We psychologically feel the feeling. It expresses itself, all the pain of the psychological structure, pain of the body expresses itself, it shows the pain, it reveals the pain. For example, we are sitting in front of us. It is anybody can see the tree. It is very huge tree. It is evident. Nobody can deny whether it is real or not. It is real. It is really standing before us. But if you close our eyes, the tree has disappeared. But in the same way, we are having physical pain, we are having psychological pain. Can you hide the pain as you hide the tree by closing your eyes? Can you hide the pain and you hide the pain of your mind? Can you hide the pain of your body? We cannot. So those which cannot be hid, those which cannot be denied, its existence is known as consciousness. So the bodily consciousness and psychological consciousness cannot be hid. It is self-evident. This self-evident nature cannot be hid by anything. It is evident. The scriptures say we have to understand the difference between the Atma and Anatma. We have to know the difference between Atma and Anatma. Atma is the self. Atma is the real self. And Anatma is the non-self. That which is not Atma is known as Anatma. Here we see in front of us we see the tree, huge tree. In this way, we look at the vast valley. And if we close our eyes, the world will be disappear. We can hear some sound. If we close our ear, the sound will go away. The whole world, whether it is Anatma, the appear and disappear, whether it is Anatma, and the consciousness that cannot be hid, whether it is Atma. But the Shastra said that the consciousness alone is Anatma. The bodily consciousness and psychological consciousness both are Anatma. That false. That is not real. Then comes to say something beyond the consciousness itself. That is Atma. So what is the role of Atma and what is the role of consciousness? We are having psychological consciousness, we are having physical consciousness that we feel, we know very well. It is self-evident in nature. Nothing can hide it. But the scriptures say they are false. They are not real. Something more, something beyond consciousness is there, that is Atma. So they say the Atma is awareness. They give a name to Atma, awareness. Awareness is the name for Atma. Now, what is awareness and what is consciousness? What is the difference between awareness and consciousness? For example, we put some sweet in our tongue. We feel the sweetness. The sweetness we cannot hide. It is self-evident in nature. We feel the sweetness. And afterwards, we put some bitter one. And we feel the bitter taste. If you touch some iceberg, we will feel cold. In the same way, if we heat some hot water, we feel the hot. What has turned into the different kind of taste? What has turned into different kind of feeling, hot or cold? So our tongue has a sensitivity. Our body has a sensitivity. But with the sensitivity we cannot feel. The sensitivity of the tongue we cannot feel. The sensitivity of the tongue has turned into the taste of sweetness and bitterness. The sensitivity of the body has turned into hot and cold. But the very sensitivity itself is nice. It is not sweetness or bitterness. It is not a cold one, it is not a hot one. It is beyond both. But it itself has turned into different kind of taste, different kind of feeling. So the basic structure, that is the cause for the consciousness, that is the original state for consciousness, is known as awareness. This original sensitivity is awareness. But we cannot feel. When it turns into the form, take the form of a consciousness, then alone we can feel. But the consciousness, it forms and disappears. The sweetness comes and disappears. The bitterness comes and disappears. That is anidya. That means appearance and it is a temporary one. But we cannot measure the consciousness, the awareness beyond as the basis of our consciousness. We cannot feel, we cannot measure what is the real status of our consciousness, awareness. What is the real state of our awareness? We cannot feel, we cannot measure. Because there is no apparatus to measure the awareness. We can measure the consciousness, but we cannot measure the awareness. But we can infer. The consciousness as just like a wave in the sea, it forms. But the entire ocean is beyond the waves, basis of the waves. But it is the custom of our teaching of the scriptures, giving importance to the Atma. But many suffer as if we have to understand, we have to feel Atma itself. But it is impossible. And somebody asked Ramana Maharishi, you are insisting to get Atma Sakshatkar. We have to understand, we have to feel Atma. Is it possible to feel Atma? How can we feel through sensory organ or through our mind? How can we feel? How can we know? How can we taste Atma? Whether it is possible to feel through our sensory organ. So he simply denied, we cannot feel Atma through sensory organ, we cannot feel through our mind. Then they asked, then how can we feel Atma? How can we taste Atma? So he simply turned his statement, nobody can feel Atma, nobody can taste Atma. We will say like that as if we have feel Atma, but no one can feel Atma, no one can taste Atma. But it is there, we can infer. As an inference, we can have Atma. Then why scriptures and many saints give importance to Atma as if we have to feel Atma? So it is a strategy to step down from our consciousness. By giving importance to Atma means we should deny the consciousness. So the denying the consciousness alone is important. Not feeling and enjoying, tasting the Atma is unimportant. But it is impossible. But their statement related to the Atma means only to the denial of our consciousness. Psychological and physical, everything is coming and going. It is a temporary one. We should not rely upon our reliability upon the conscious level. There may be many kind of experience. All experiences are in the form of consciousness. Some one kind of experience, some good experience, bad experience. All experience are consciousness. Everything comes and goes. Everything is anidya, or everything is temporary. We should not give importance to that. We should not struck up with our conscious experience. So that is the crux of the teaching for giving importance to the Atma. Actually, giving importance to Atma does not mean that we have to taste Atma. We should not feel Atma. It is impossible. But the main thing is that we have to be free from the consciousness. Because the freedom, liberation is not related with the Atma. It's related to the consciousness. If you do not give importance to the consciousness goes on freedom. The liberation is related to the conscious level. It has no connection to Atma. But giving importance to Atma is a strategy to neglect the conscious experiences. So there is a golden style of the scriptures. But we need not rely upon this way of approaching, but many persons are searching Atma. I want to taste Atma, I have to feel Atma. In this name of tasting Atma, they are wasting their entire life. They are searching after life after life they are searching. But it is impossible. But the main crux for the teaching related to the Atma is that we have to disregard the conscious experiences. That is the important thing. And if we give freedom to the consciousness, but if we think it is permanent, we can see some conscious experience. But nothing is permanent. Everything is transient. Whatever comes, the next moment it will go. And that is the healthy way of our approach. That is related to the consciousness. And in the yoga process, the concentration which related to the eye consciousness is considered to be the supreme one. And if you concentrated upon the eye consciousness, so then it is a good kind of meditation. Thereby you can have some energy field, you can create some energy field, you can feel some energetic or some occult power, many experiences, anything we have. For the purpose of attaining something, you can do such kind of practice. Otherwise, it is not important. But the other kind of way we are also giving importance to the eye consciousness in a different way. What is the role of man in our approach? We feel I am existing, I am living, I am as a human being, we know ourselves as I am. When we are in a deep sleep, do we have the feeling of I am? We have no feeling of I am. When we are in conscious world, we feel we are alive, we have the feeling of I am. But in the sleep itself, if we have dream, in the dream state also, the I am is out. We feel I am when we are sleeping, when we are dreaming. In the waking hours, we feel I am living, I am having some experience. So you feel the feeling of I am. So what is common in the waking hours and in the dream state? The thought alone is the common factor available in both the cases. So the thought alone is the reason for our eye consciousness. If there is no thought, there is no I am. In the deep sleep, there is no thought. So in the samadhi state, there is no thought. So whenever thought enters, the eye consciousness will be there. So the eye consciousness is the reason, the thought alone is the reason for the eye consciousness. If there is no thought, there is no eye consciousness. Moreover, the thought functions as a habit of creating the eye consciousness. For example, you look at a tree, the thought enters and it explains. It explains it whole, it is a tree. At the same time, it shows you as yourself. Somebody is looking at the tree. At one side, it creates the tree, it colors, it creates the tree. Then at the other end, it creates a picture for yourself as the seer of the tree. So it always creates duality. Each and every segment of a thought, some duality will be there. The observer and the observer. Without the duality, the thought cannot function. Each and every moment, it will function in duality. And for example, if you walk along the road, some bus is coming in front of you. When you look at the bus, you immediately recognize, so you are in front of the bus. You recognize yourself and you recognize the bus itself. So then only you can move away from the bus. So you have to understand, you have to dissociate the bus from yourself. Then only you can act. So in the physical world, this separation is important, the separation is necessary. So you have to understand the bus is away from you and you are away from the bus. So you have to feel a separation. Then only you can act what you have to do, what you should not do. Where you have to turn away, where you have to step down, step away. But the same thought takes a dangerous role within us. Externally it is okay. But psychologically, it creates a nuisance within us. When we have some fear, when we have some anger, you create a ownership that I am carrying the anger, I am carrying the fear. Actually, psychologically, there is one experience alone. There cannot be any dual experience. Each and every moment, a single experience alone is possible. But the thought creates a duality within a single experience, as the experience and the experience. And the experience takes a responsibility to free from the fear, free from the anger, free from the sorrow. So it is an artificial responsibility, some unnatural responsibility. Actually, each and every moment, new thought alone has come. There cannot be any old thought. Moment by moment, new thought alone can come. So the new thought creates a new experience. The new thought creates a new experience. Moment by moment, the experience goes away, the experience also goes away. There cannot be any constant experience. But the thought holds the experience as a common man from the childhood and onwards. Some continuous eye consciousness is available here. But actually, a momentary one, created by the momentary thought. But our memory pattern gives a continuity as if you are existing from childhood onwards, you are existing as a single person. And for whom some different kind of experience comes and goes. Actually, the experiences comes from the experience. When we have the anger, the thought creates a person who is having anger. When we are having a fear, the thought creates a person who is having the fear. The experience comes from the experience. Not the experiencer has created any experience. Moment by moment, according to the circumstances, some experience comes. And the thought enters and creates a color as an experiencer and experience. And when it is okay with the external world. In the external world, we have to differentiate everything, the experiencer and the experience, the observer and the observer, then only we can function. We can walk away from the bus and do the necessary thing. We have to separate everything. But if we separate ourselves within ourselves, I have to be free from my emotion. I have to keep my emotion with myself always. If it is a good emotion, I have to keep with me forever. If it is a bad emotion, I have to get away from the emotion. So in this way, we are inviting a struggle within us. Thereby, I consciousness takes a responsibility to deal with us. Actually, psychologically, there is no responsibility. So when there is no responsibility, whatever comes will go away in the next moment. Only because of the wrong responsibility, we try to regulate ourselves within ourselves. There are many stories to explain this statement. In our scriptures, we can see. Once, a saint was doing some meditation on the bank of a river. The other side of the river, some village is there, some village women taking some milk materials to sold to the nearby village in this side of the river. There is a usual custom. The villagers from the other side come crossing the river. Because the river was very shallow, they can walk crossing the river by walking itself. They can cross the river and sell the milk materials to these persons and return in the evening crossing the same river again. It is a really daily routine. One day, when they come this side, the river was very shallow. It is very easy for them to cross the river by walking. When they have to return in the evening, because of some new water by new rain, some flood is there in the river. So they cannot cross the river. So they seek the help of the saint who is doing meditation on the back of the river. And the saint told them, I am very hungry. Please give me something for my food. I will help you. And the villagers give him the remaining food materials, and he gave everything. And after eating everything, he goes near the river and says to the river, if I have not ate anything, please give me the way for the persons. And the river also give way to the persons, as if approve that he has not ate anything. But after the villagers has gone away, crossing the river, and the saint was sitting for meditation, and the disciple asked a question. In front of us, you ate everything, but you asked the river that you have not eaten anything, and you told that I have not eaten anything, and you please give way to the persons. What happened here? So the reason is to explain this statement. Because each and every moment The new I consciousness is there. When the saying eating something, some I consciousness is there. But it goes away. After the eating is over, the I consciousness goes away. So when he goes near the river, new I consciousness is there. The new I consciousness has not eaten anything. So in moment by moment, the I consciousness is new. To tell the message, they created this story like this. But it is purely applicable to the psychological world. It is not to the physical world. For example, you borrowed some amount to your neighbor, and then saying that I will give you return tomorrow, next day. And the next day, the neighbor came to you to get back the amount. You cannot say the person who has received the amount has gone yesterday, so new person is here. I have no duty to repay it. So physically, you are the same person from childhood to onwards. You are the same person. But psychologically, moment by moment, we are new. But if you try to be a old person, we take some responsibility to deal with something for the future. So all future, present, past, everything comes when you have a continuity for yourself. But psychologically, moment by moment, you are new. The world has gone. Each and every present moment alone, some present I consciousness is there. It is a momentary one. So when we are momentary, we should not have any responsibility. So psychologically, we have to be free with ourselves. If you call yourself as somebody, as a continuous one, there is a real bondage for yourself. You are binding yourself as somebody, as a continuous person. That is the bondage. That's the psychological bondage for yourself. So you have to be free from yourself. The new I has to be free from the new I, old I. So moment by moment, you are in momentary I consciousness. And psychologically, each and every moment, some experience comes. The next moment, experience goes. There cannot be any permanent experience. Moment by moment, new experience alone is there. And when the thought enters, it creates the experience and experience. But it doesn't matter. But when we give importance to the I consciousness, the experiencer as a role, to separate yourself, separate your experience, then the problem starts. So if you have the idea to establish yourself in a good state, then the I takes the role, the I takes the responsibility. If you don't have any idea to separate yourself, whatever it be, you have to go along with that. Then the experience, the responsibility of the I consciousness also goes away. Just like the experience goes away, the experiencer also goes away. So psychologically, we must be like a living river. Moment by moment, new water alone has to come. New experience alone has to come. New thought alone has to come. There should not be any old. Actually, really, new thing alone is there. We think we are a continuous one. We are a past one. We are going to our future. But the present, past, future, everything, for the external world is concerned, is a must. We have to plan for the future. We have to consider the past. We have to consider past knowledge. We have to move towards the future. We have to safeguard the future. We have to get some lesson from the past. We have to gather many ideas from the past. That is purely good for the external world. But the psychological world is quite opposite. Here, freedom alone is the goal. We should not shape anything. We should not plan anything. I must be like that. I should not be like this. So there is no choice. There should not be any selection. There should not be any comparison. So it is only purely psychological. Psychological world is different. And the physical world is different. But if you psychologically free, if you psychologically don't have any idea, psychologically don't have any philosophy to hold yourself, that is liberation. Liberation is our natural state. You need not create. If you create something, you have to lose it. But it is a natural state, you cannot lose it. Even though you lose it, it will be there. You may not be aware of that, but it is there, already there. When we were a child, we are in the same state. Only because of our intellect, only because of the grown-up of our intellect, our innocence has gone away. Actually, the liberation is an innocent state of our mind. The innocent state of our mind and liberation is not different. Both are same. Here, our knowledge alone is the enemy. Our understanding is that we have to let it free. We are as if we do not know anything. We have to let the mind operate on its own, as if we have no idea. But all our idea, all our philosophy, all everything is only related to the external. The external world, we can plan, we can do anything, we can correct anything, we can change anything, we can remodel anything. But here, you have psychologically, you have to accept yourself totally or not. So that you have to decide, that you have to find out, that you have to understand. If you understand, the understanding will operate and nothing more is needed. You may have some different kind of emotion, different kind of quality, different kind of mindset. But in spite of all of those things, you have to accept yourself totally, wholeheartedly. You need not wait. If I have my character has to change, then only I can get enlightenment. My temperament has to go, my temperament has to change. Nothing is needed. In spite of all those things, at any time, if you accept you wholeheartedly, that's the end of it. You might know something or may not know something about the auction sale. There is some difference between the ordinary sale and the auction sale. For example, if you purchase a product in a shop and take it to the house and find some problem in the product, you can go and return to the shop owner and get back another thing. Some rules for the ordinary sale is like that. But the auction sale is different. If you get anything on auction, you cannot complain. Some product, some repair is there, some defect is there, you want to return something, you cannot ask for a return of anything, replacement of anything. Because it was sold to you with all its defects. I am selling the thing, I am selling on auction with all its defects. That's the rule of auction sale. So here, with all of the defects, at any time you can be enlightened. So I have such kind of defect, I have such kind of problem. Nothing is needed, nothing can be taken into account. With all our defect, we can be liberated, we can be enlightened. The flowing around must be there. It is already flowing. But if you select something, this must be like this must not be like this, that alone is not correct. So we have to accept ourselves wholeheartedly, totally. If we select ourselves, this is good, this is bad, then we are creating some choice, creating some struggle within us. So you have to accept yourself wholeheartedly with all your defects. Some emotion may be good, some emotion may be bad. But in the eyes of reality, in the eyes of liberation, in the eyes of enlightenment, everything is good, everything is real, everything is natural. You need not worry of anything. We need not worry of any of our emotions. We need not feel guilty for anything. In each and every religion, to eradicate the guilty feeling, they have some strategy. Then in Hindu religion, if you take bath in Ganga river, all your sins will be pardoned, all sins will go away, you will be forgiven. In Christianity, if you seek for if you give pardon for everything, if you put down every sin, what is the known as? In English? Confession. If you give a state of confession that I have done this sin and everything, it will be pardoned. Is it true? For example, one person committed a murder. The police rushed after him. He fastly ran away and jumped into the river of Ganga. I have taken bath. Nobody should arrest me because all my sins were pardoned, all forgiven. The scripture says like this: why should you arrest me after taking bath in the Ganga? So all these things are related only to the psychology. So whatever may be the guilty, you might have committed a wrong, anything. But everything is past. You should not feel guilty for anything. So that is the reason behind the confession or the forgiven or the taking bath in the Ganga river. Everything is only on the connection. Psychologically it is okay, it is correct, 100% correct. There is no wrong in it. But it is not taken into account in the physical man. So psychologically, we should not be responsible to do anything. We have to put down all our responsibility. We have to leave our mind in a natural process. If it is moving on the natural process, just like a living river, everything will be washed away. Nothing will stay there. So if you raise any question, we may discuss on those lines.
This experience is that like we cannot experience it. But all these saints, like the great saints, like Ramana Maharishi, other enlightened people, they experience something and then they turn to a different person altogether. What was that experience then? If it is not possible to have.
So Ramana Maharishi himself say, nobody can experience Atma. Even Ramana Maharishi himself said.
So my question is, like, what is that experience? That is
so in the form, but anyhow, what they experience is only consciousness. All experience are consciousness. For example, if you feel I am, we can feel something. If you look at yourself, you can feel something. The feeling of something is known as consciousness. The consciousness is a consciousness. You can feel something, you can know something. Doing some meditation or anything, you can feel something. Whatever you feel is consciousness. It is not, but everything here, beyond the consciousness, on the basis of consciousness, awareness is there. Without awareness, nothing is possible. No consciousness is possible without awareness. So awareness is the basis, Atma is the basis. But here, the purpose of introducing Atma is to delete the consciousness alone, not to feel the Atma. But we are mistaken that as if we have to feel Atma, we have to enjoy Atma, we have to taste Atma. That is impossible. No scriptures say we can feel Atma. They are even scriptures say that you have to know Atma by Atma itself. You can aware Atma by Atma itself. We cannot, but we are consciousness. What we feel, what we handle, we can operate. What we operate is only consciousness. Consciousness cannot feel the Atma. Consciousness cannot feel the awareness.
So you are saying their final experience was losing the consciousness itself.
Only all experiences are only conscious level. There cannot be any experience. If it is in the form of experience, it is a consciousness. Consciousness means it has some appearance and disappearance. There is no unappeared consciousness, undisappeared consciousness. There is no such thing. Everything has to disappear. All consciousness has to go. All appearance, all experience has to go.
This question,
That
I
is
think,
consciousness.
is what experience changed for them, the life?
What experience?
Like Ramana Maharishi, Buddha, whatever. So up to today, they were in some kind of state. They realized they experienced something. Then they changed. The next moment, they changed into something else. So what is that experience?
So that I have explained in the first day session. And he was not, if you listen to the video, you can understand like this.
First one, who was there?
So, he got the fear of death, and he allowed the fear of death. When you allow the function of your mind, naturally the liberation will be there. Whoever allows their mind, naturally they feel the liberation.
With the dropping of consciousness.
Dropping of
I consciousness.
not only I consciousness, whatever it be, everything goes away. That means you allow yourself, you allow everything to pass away from yourself.
So the minute they felt that this is the truth, the next minute they changed. I mean, when they realized this.
Yeah. But it begins to it begins to function in a different dimension.
Is that the question?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
In this my process, with the did, there's something called, they say, where the ego dissolves. What is the point of dissolution of when
So self-responsibility, that means if you don't have any responsibility to shape yourself, that is a dissolution of the I consciousness. But whenever you have the thought, naturally some I consciousness will be there. There cannot be any thought without I consciousness. So if you have thought, naturally you will have I consciousness.
Dissolution is also at a psychological level.
Psychological. The psychological response, dissolution of the psychological responsibility alone is the dissolution of I consciousness.
It is not something at the energy level or some other level. The same
No, only the intellectual level.
Because most of us were mistaken to believe that it is at some other level, it's not psychological level. That's what we thought.
No.
Many people think so, actually.
But anyhow, when there is no responsibility to shape yourself, naturally the function of our mind will be in a different way. So it may be look as if some energy change within yourself, but it is not the but it is not at all a energy one. Whatever comes, it goes away. Previously, you manipulate everything, you regulate everything. Now you give freedom to everything. So everything function on its own. Previously, you make it function. Now you allow it to function on its own. That is the difference.
Tamil equivalent of consciousness. Tamil consciousness.
உணர்ச்சி அல்லது உணர்வு பேர் உணர்ச்சி
Tamil equivalent word for consciousness. What is that?
Hindi translation of consciousness.
Hindi word is Chaitanya.
உணர்ச்சின்னு
Sanskrit word is Chaitanya.
மனம்ங்கிறது வேற உணர்ச்சி.
Mind means total.
This is specific.
If this is some specific.
Somebody translate for that. Sorry.
But we want to understand what the mind and feelings are different. Okay. Mind is total, feeling is
Some part of the mind. Feeling is a part of the mind.
So this consciousness is short-lived. It's a nature.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, do you mean that this I consciousness is ego? Is this ego?
Yeah, everything. Whatever may be the consciousness, whether it is in the form of I consciousness or in the form of some emotion, everything is short-lived, momentary.
Yeah, but is that what you mean by ego? Like.
Everything is there is ego. Whenever it is appearing, it takes the role of ego. But at the same time, ego means some adamant nature also it may mean. There is a different kind of emotion. In the emotional level, if we give some importance to the I consciousness, but it can be considered as ego if it is related to the external world is concerned. How you behave, your behavior level is related to the external world. You have to be you give some place to other person. You have to give some regard to the other person. That means related to the external circumstances. There we can consider if you are adamant nature, if you do not give importance to other people, then we can take it as an ego. But it is related to the external. But psychological world is concerned, we should not separate it as an ego. The consciousness and ego is same in the psychological world.
She was asking, will the ego dissolve? By that, what you mean is the whole mind.
Mind, the
dissolves.
thought goes away.
Yeah.
Each and every moment, old thought goes away, new thought comes. Not only the responsibility also goes away. The responsibility is the important thing. We have to put down the responsibility.
Subconscious இருந்தாலும் சொல்ல வரும் ஆழ்மனங்கிற மாதிரி சொல்றீங்க இல்லையா? உங்களோட கவலை
Armanam is the deeper conscious mind. The subconscious mind is our character, Siddha.
சொல்லும்போது மனம்ங்கிற வார்த்தையை பயன்படுத்துறீங்க. இந்த உணர்ச்சிகள்னு சொல்றீங்க கான்செப்ட், உணர்வு சொல்றீங்க, அதுல வந்து மனம்ன்ற பதம் பயன்படுத்தப்படுது.
பொதுவாக நம்ம ஒரு விளக்கத்துக்காக பல இது பண்றோம். அந்த டைமுக்கு அப்படி சொன்னா சரியா இருக்குன்னு சொல்லி சொல்றோம். இது மொத்தத்துல என்னன்னா எல்லாத்தையுமே மைண்ட்னு தான் சொல்லுவோம். இப்ப இறைவனை கூட காஸ்மிக் மைண்ட் தான் சொல்லுவோம், பிரபஞ்ச மனம்னு சொல்லுவோம்.
டெக்னிக்கல் டிஃபரன்ஸ்
Everybody is enlightened. So no question.
it's presumed
They have some concepts inside like Sakshi Baba or something, witness consciousness or all those things, but they are coming up.
So everything is only for the beginners. As a beginner, we can practice anything. As a Sakshi Baba, we can practice choiceless awareness. We can practice everything. Can practice. But as a beginner, we can. Otherwise, we can as an entertainment. We can have as a fun. We can have some meditation. We can have some practice or anything. But I have also taught 3 forms of meditations. But if time permits, we may also take some video clippings for meditation itself. Because some beginners, it may be helpful. If time permits, we can have 3 kinds of meditation. But it is not useful for this class. This enlightenment liberation purpose, it is not useful. But for the beginners.
It's continuity of the thought comes, that I comes, and there is an experience which is creating the experience. So is it possible for us to realize that split? I mean, we are feeling that continuously we are there.
So it looks like that because our memory pattern, we should not be without our memory. So each and every, even though each and every moment some new thought comes, that is a scientific one. But even though thought alone is the reason for the high consciousness, so naturally we have to infer. But at the same time, it will look as if it is a continuous one.
If there is a gap between 2 thoughts.
No gap. Naturally, some gap must be there. So because each and every one is a new one, first one. Naturally, some gap will be there. But we cannot perceive it. We cannot feel it.
So that I looks continuous.
Based
on experience,
because of the memory, even though some gap is, the memory continues. Giving a continuity to each and every thought. So we took ourselves as a continuous person from childhood onwards.
Yeah, because whatever shaker I thought I was as a child for years. Still, if I close the eyes, I feel I am the same I.
Yeah.
There is a continuity.
It looks like that.
But actually, each moment I have been changing. Now also I am changing. Right?
Yeah, changing.
While talking also.
Yeah. Each and moment by moment, a new thought alone has come. That is the fact. That is the science. But anyhow, we cannot understand. We cannot feel. That is also a science. That is also a fact.
So it is not possible for somebody else split and say, okay, this is I was there, gone. Next day I is coming like that.
We can infer. We can understand. And with the help of understanding, we can infer like this. So otherwise, we cannot feel.
So the inferer is called Atma.
No. Infer is also another kind of thought. It is also a thought. The thought also infer. The inferring person is also a thought. We do everything only in the help of thought.
Is the file maintained? Infer is the file maintained.
What is the difference between deep sleep and samadhi?
So samadhi, different kind of some concept, some thought around will be absent, but other form of our mind will be waken. We have some awakening, but our thought will not be there. So we have some awakening of our mind will be there, but no thought will be there. So we cannot feel. We cannot feel anything in the samadhi state.
The eye consciousness will be there.
It's not conscious because whenever thought, when there is no thought, there is no eye consciousness.
There is no thought, there cannot be no eye. There cannot be.
We cannot recognize anything, we cannot feel anything, but some blood feeling will be there, we cannot feel anything.
That is also in the case of.
For example, you are in a dark room. You cannot feel, you cannot look anything. But at the same time, you are available, that you can feel yourself. You can feel yourself, but you cannot see anything. So in this way, the samadhi state itself, some feeling will be there, but we cannot understand anything. Even yourself itself, your eye consciousness itself. Some feeling will be there, some blood feeling will be there.
And in deep sleep, we don't have any.
In the deep sleep, nothing will be there. But sometimes some persons, for example, there are certain persons who are having subtle body come away from the physical body, you through subtle body and return to the physical body. Certain people are there. They can come away from the physical body and return to the physical body. So if you have the capacity like that, during your sleep itself, they can have some different kind of activation in your subtle body. Thereby you can watch even the sleep itself. So for such people around, they can have the feeling like this. For other ordinary people, normally we will not have. But some special sensitivity will be developed for those persons. But it is not. It is not normal.
Can you guys?
Can you?
Can you do that as
No, I have no clue. I have no idea. I have no personal experience like that. But there are many persons with me. Some person have the same experience like this.
அறிந்துயில் சொன்னாங்க.
அறிந்துயில்.
சமாதி இது சொன்னாங்க. இது அறிந்துயில்.
அறிந்துயில்.
The consciously, that is the samadhi.
And in some spiritual groups, they are providing some drugs to get that experience.
So in many kinds of meditation, we are told to stay with the awareness. You know, for example, keep the breath as an object of concentration. Like you said at the beginner level.
Yeah.
Yes. So, or to focus on the feeling inside the body. You know, like when I'm sitting, I can feel that I'm sitting. So when I'm, so what happens is after some time, one tries to ignore the thought. You know, so there is a suppression of thought. And okay, forget the thought, that is not real. This is real. I am sitting, so keep focusing on that. So, I mean, that kind of leads to a state of mind which I don't think is, I mean, I don't know. What is your opinion about that?
So here also, it is a kind of thought, but the thought is not wandering. It is circling yourself around. So it is a different kind of thought. You are giving some access to circle yourself around and to the feeling or the sensation, and you keep the thought within the sensation level around, and you are not. It is not wandering. So it is a kind of thought. It is also a thought level, but at the same time you are giving importance to the subconsciousness. So it is only for some yoga practice. Some energy, you are creating some energy field, and you are attending, you are having some focusing your attention to that. So the attention keep on going within yourself. So it is some practice.
But it is not a good practice. I mean, you would not
So
recommend that.
as a beginner, you can do.
Right.
It may be considered as a good one, but as it is only for the beginners. Proper understanding alone will help.
the understanding that we have nothing to do with the
Nothing,
psychological
nothing to do psychology. Then only it will end in liberation. Otherwise, this will not end in liberation.
Yes, it will stay in
It
this.
will be doing the same thing again and again. It's a maintaining your state.
We see, sir.
Yes.
He has some questions.
Yes.
My question
Yeah.
was similar to first, but I will adjust it a little now. Does this mean that this understanding we call enlightenment, that is outside of consciousness? You will never have an experience of this understanding, because then it's inside of consciousness and it's another thought. Is this how to understand this?
So here we have to understand we should not take any shape, we should not entertain any shape for our consciousness. We have to accept our consciousness in whatever it may be the form. Whether it may be in the form of some emotion, good emotion, bad emotion, we have to accept it wholeheartedly. We should not have any stand for ourselves. I must be this, some peacefulness or some good energy level or some bliss consciousness. If you try to keep ourselves in a good state, that means we are selecting some consciousness. But here we are accepting wholeheartedly everything. It may be in whatever it may be the form, it may be in a good form or bad form. We are naming, we are not selecting any consciousness. We are selecting all, we are accepting all consciousness. Everything is good, everything is good, everything is right, everything is natural. We are not selecting anything. We are accepting it totally. We are not partially.
Try another combination. So this enlightenment, to say, is the knowledge that leads to liberation.
So yeah, that means when we understand, when we accept everything wholeheartedly and we allow it to function, when we allow it to function totally, it moves, it freely moves. The free movement of our consciousness, the free movement of our mind is liberation. It ends in, because this happens only because of our understanding, only because of our enlightenment. Then only we allow the natural function of our mind. Otherwise, we will not allow the mind. We try to control our mind, we try to shape our mind. So whenever we understand we have no business within the mind, we accept everything as it is, then only we give freedom to the mind. Otherwise, we will not give freedom. Only because of our enlightenment, we give freedom to the mind. So when we give freedom, the mind functions in freedom. That is liberation.
That means that this thing you call understanding is not something. Normally, I would say I understand something that is a thought I have. I understand why a dog is running away from something. For example, I say I understand this, I have this thought. But in this case, the understanding that is to liberation, that is not the thought, not inside consciousness. Is this correct?
So liberation is the happening. It is a natural happening. In the liberation, anything may happen. Anything may move. So the movement, the free movement of the mind, within the mind, some good thing may go, the good thing may move, bad thing may be, whatever may be the variation of the circumstances, everything moves freely. But what the crucial thing is that we decide that we have no work in the mind. So we have to come to a conclusion. It is only intellectual conclusion. There is no deeper level of conclusion. Only superficial and intellectual conclusion is enough. Our conclusion must say we have no working within the mind. When we understand like this, we do not do any work within our mind. We allow the mind to flow on its own, and the mind will flow on its own. So, but we have to come to a conclusion. The conclusion is enlightenment.
The understanding is in thought level.
The thought level, only superficial level. But at the same time, we should not be any doubt about our understanding. If you have some confusion, it may be like that. If you think like that, it will not work. It must be wholehearted, it must be conclusive. The understanding must be conclusive, but it is only superficial and short level. It is enough.
Still you have a
So when we have a thought on the mind level, yes, let's say I have a thought on the mind level. Does that thought on the mind level also have some movement in the body? Is there a corresponding sensation in the body?
So, whenever we have what kind of thought you are having, naturally it creates an energy.
Yes.
For example, when you think of a snake, naturally you will have some adverse feeling.
Yes.
So, somebody, if you if you think of your son or some lovable person,
Yes.
naturally you will have some sensation according to that.
Right.
So, whatever may be the thought, you will have the sensation.
Okay. Okay. But we don't pay attention to any sensations. We just keep on working on the fact that this is a flow.
This is a natural thing.
Yeah.
But here we should not take any stand. We should not try to keep any emotion permanently for ourselves.
Right.
It is impossible. So the possible thing is everything is to free flow. That is a natural thing. We should not give importance to block any emotion. This is a good emotion, I must block with me. If it is a bad emotion, I will drive away from it. So, whatever may be the emotion, you have to natural access from yourself.
So when you say it is moment by moment, so for example, if I take one inhale, one exhale, okay, this is moment by moment. I'm not, then I am purposely moving my energy or into focusing on the breath. Yes, like you said, 10 breaths, regulating the breath.
In that breath.
Yeah. So, for example, if I do that for 1 hour, then I do it for like in meditation class, you actually do it 10 hours a day. Now, what I've understood from what you is that this is an unnatural state. This is not because you are creating an energy inside, which is not the way it's supposed to be.
But sometimes some practice may help for your health. If it is helpful for your health, you can continue the practice yourself.
How can it help my health? Because it's unnatural.
So even though it is unnatural, but for example, eating is not natural. You yourself manually eat something. It is even though it is unnatural, it is not natural. So inhaling and exhaling may be natural, but eating some food is unnatural. But anyhow, we can select the food which is suitable for your health, suitable for your digestion. That you can select. In this way, some respiration you can watch something. Sometimes it may be helpful. For everything has some limit. If you within the limit, everything may be helpful. Even during meditation, you may have some bliss consciousness. If it is within a limit, it may be helpful for the health of your body itself. But if it goes beyond limit, then it begins to destroy the body.
Yes. There is a disturbance of energy.
Yeah.
There could be some jerking, there could be some excessive energy build-up.
Yeah.
Then we know that then it is excess.
Yes.
Then we can we can stop
within
it.
the limit.
Yeah.
When it is helpful, you can make it stop that.
Yeah. Right. Thank you.
Just one question outside the syllabus. Just one question is rather outside the syllabus, but nevertheless it's part of my life. This question is on Saguna Bhakti. Saguna Bhakti in the sense, see, I am from a Brahmin family. Right from the beginning, I was born with the grace of Venkatramana. And near our house, there is one Devi temple. It is said that Devi Sanchara, Devi goes there. So many people have said that they see Devi around in the midnight. So even I used to go in the midnight to see whether I can see Devi. So 3 times I walked that path. Third day I got a dream from that Devi saying, I'm not going to give you darshan because you still believe in human beings, something like that. So what I'm asking about the Saguna Bhakti, like we still relate to Venkatramana as a family, Kuladeva, and that is not connected to this, I suppose. That is
for the external world, you may have even Saguna Bhakti also you may have. You may put your responsibility to the God, deity or anything. But in the psychological world is concerned, surrender alone is helpful for liberation. Here surrender, put down your psychological.
Without deity, rather. Deity is like outside.
No, for external, for something working or anything, you can have some relationship, but everything must be within a limit. Then it is all right.
Because we usually move to Kuladeva, Ram Devata, and all that.
Within a limit, you can make yourself.
But within the psychological surrender itself is the
Psychologically, surrender to God means same. Surrender to God and enlightenment is same. You have to put down your psychological structure totally and entirely in the hands of God. That means you put down, you have no work there. You put down everything in the hands of God or in the hands of nature. You have not the work there. So psychologically it is so.
So actual surrender is the key. To whom you are surrendering is secondary.
Yes. So can finish now. Anybody wants to have trekking tomorrow morning?
Yes.
Then we can make arrangement. Pass arrangement. No, if you go for trekking, you have to go early. No.
6:30 a.m.
No?
6:30.
6:30.